Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tony's Picks and Morning Show. I'm Tony T. Flying solo, looks like, for today here on the Tony's Picks and Morning Show. We're with you here, guys, every day, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications, be live with us so you get those plays for you here in real time. Here we'll get picks today from Major League Baseball. I have picks for you here as well from the NBA playoffs. And don't really cover NHL, so we won't have NHL for you. But unless we go into the cappers to chime in. But maybe Ron Hahn. I'll go back and forth with Ron Hahn in the chat today here with the picks today here from the major sports. Let's go through some of these. So I'd like to acknowledge all the folks here in the chat this morning. So shout out to Andrew, of course, JM, Blake in here with us as well. And Ron Hahn in here, as we talked about. So lots of great folks in here in the chat interacting. So we'll get rolling here with the baseball for today. It is a 16-game card from Major League Baseball, as we have the Blue Jays and the Yankees here having to make up the doubleheader. So let's get the show rolling here. We've got the Mets and Nationals today. We got the Mets here favored $1.40 on the road, total of 8. And then we roll here with Blue Jays, Yankees, game 1. And Yankees about $2 favorite, total 8.5. Game 2 scheduled for 6:35 Eastern. Yankees also $1.50, total of 9 in that game. Remember, it was the Blue Jays with that ninth inning comeback to take game 1 of that series. Red Sox, Guardians. We got the Guardians $1.11, total 7.5. And then we'll end this block here. Continue the block here with Orioles, Tigers. We got Tigers $1.95, total 7.5. And then Angels and Twins in this block, total $6.73, total 7.5. All starting pitchers are set to go today, except one change, and that will be in the Seattle Mariners, as Seattle will start Logan Evans making his MLB debut. 2023 12th round pick for Seattle. Has spent the past 3 seasons, 2+ seasons in the minors, putting up some pretty decent numbers. But Seattle's going to be dealing with some injuries here. Logan Gilbert and George Kirby are expected to be missing several weeks now here with injuries. Logan Gilbert, the latest one now in the injured list with an elbow situation, a shoulder for Kirby. So 2 big guns in Seattle out of their rotation right now due to injury. And we'll see how they respond here, because they had a big response yesterday. Right now, they just absolutely pounded the Marlins last night. So Seattle is someone to keep an eye on, as they're going to missing 2 of their starting pitchers in the rotation. So let's get going on here with the games here. We'll start, as we talked about here, for the games here in that first block. And let me put my notes up here. Looking at this Toronto Blue Jays and Yankees game, I'll be looking at the under. I'll be looking here in this one to go Toronto at the big plus price here. Toronto is hit in this in game number 1. We do have Max Fried against Gausman going head-to-head here. And looking at this one, Toronto has hit left-handers pretty well. Their bullpen's in pretty good form. When you look at Toronto as a big dog here, 20-22 as a road dog, a +125 to +175 the past 2+ seasons, returning 6.5 units. And against the division, the Yankees, the past 2+ seasons, 23-29, losing 14.5 units. So I'll look at Toronto there in game 1. I like the under here in game number 2 of this one. Of course, the bullpen's there in pretty good form. There we got Bassett going against Clark Schmidt. So I'll look at an under in that one. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Hicks Morning Show. Looking here at this one between the Mets and the Nats. I'll take the plus money here on the Nats. The Mets, when you look at the Nats over the past 7 games, have been hitting them pretty well at 270. The Mets against lefties on the road the past 2+ seasons, just 20-33, losing 16.5 units. We'll look here at Washington, who's returned to profit here against right-handed starters the past 2+ seasons, 54-58, returning 12.5 units. And they possess pretty good home run power this season. So I'll look at the Nationals there in that one. Going to the Red Sox and Guardians, the team split their doubleheader yesterday. But Bayo here going up against Logan Allen. I'll look at the Cleveland in this spot at that minus price. I'm looking at the Red Sox over their past 6, hitting just 218 with a bullpen that has been struggling. The Guardians have hit right-handers pretty well at home. Look at the bullpen for this Cleveland team, of 1.62 ERA. And man, they've been a pretty good home favorite here at this price of even money to 150 the past 1+ seasons. 41 will make that now 42-14, returning about 24 units. I'll look at Cleveland in that spot. All right, let's continue here on Tony's Sports Show as we continue with the next one here. Orioles and Tigers. It's hard to go against the Tigers here in these day games. That's always that seems to be this year and last season. They've been getting the job done. I'll look at run line here with the Tigers here against the Orioles. Creamer is having a rough year. What is ERA near 7, WHIP of 1.60. And I got to tell you something, boy, this Orioles, what the worst starting rotation in baseball this year. Things have really struggled for them. Looking at this Tigers team, they've won now 11. Actually, yeah, they've now won 11 of 14 at home. And the Orioles hitting against the eight lefties they faced this year, hitting .188. I like this Tigers team here on the run line. Although it burned me the other night, winning by 1, but I'll take them in this spot. Of course, the Twins and the Angels. Coming back here with the Twins. I know it's a big price here, but actually not. I'll look at Twins run line in this game. I'm just not. Minnesota now starting playing a little more respectable baseball at home. But man, this Angels team just not hitting very well over the past 6 at .183. The Angel bullpen on the road in the area approaching 7, and against these these bad pitching staffs, I should say, actually should throw in these bullpens. He seemed to allow 4.9 runs per game or greater. Twins now 16-1 at home against these teams, returning 14.5 units. And I'll look at the Angel. I'll look at the run now to the Twins run line because this line moved from $1.40 to $1.70. That's not my alley there. So I'll look at the Twins run line in that one. All right, let's continue here on the Tony S'more Show. Let's see what you guys in the chat got going on here as I'm rolling solo here on today's show. We've got here, looks like Mets not hitting. Yeah, that's after struggles right now, especially on the road here. Nats first 5 for Blake. We're looking here at Erica. Anyone like the A's game over? We'll get to that game here later on. Allen, a little suspect. He's on today. So, Jay, I'm not a big fan here of Allen on the mound, although I am a bigger fan of the Guardians bullpen there. Of course, acknowledging Ron there. Homeless are nocturnal. We know that. We saw it last night, yesterday, right? The White Sox just pounded the Homeless in that afternoon game. Wow. Yep, holding it down for you guys. We'll be here as always. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, the O's, it's their starting pitching has been terrible this year. The hitting really hasn't been there. I don't like that. $1.70 is not a price I want to be at all. They're not a big fan of that. Looks like we're getting Al Ninos in here. I'll bring him in right now. Al, what's going on?
Hey, sorry about that, Tony. Doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Doing all right. I come off a pretty good day yesterday, 3-1 day, so I can't argue. My baseball's been pretty sharp this year. How about you?
Yeah, no, I started off my day 2-0, so looked like I was finally getting out my cold streak. Unfortunately, couldn't resist trying to sneak the Padres on the over there, and that went all wrong. And Maple Leafs put up a good fight. Ended up on them too, and congrats to Ottawa keeping the series alive. But let's see how much longer they can do that for.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think I started the show wrong. I started with baseball, but it's okay. We'll get to the NBA in a little bit. So, Al, we'll get you started. You just missed the first block here. So let's go back here. First block of baseball. We got in the first block here the Mets and Nats. And then we're also the Blue Jays, game 1 and game 2. Red Sox, Guardians, Orioles, Tigers. And then we close the first block with Angels, Twins.
Yeah, I made a little bit of juice here. Maybe take the Mets -1. The one I like better here is the Yankees. Of course, this one is juicy. You're going to have to lay about, again, if you don't want to lay any juice, just take the run line. But I'll take them about -150 here on the -1. Just because they are at home. Don't want to get killed by that run line at home. Small lean to the Guardians. Nothing too big. I think that's a tough game that could actually go either way. Both these starters have looked good this so far this season. But I'll take a shot on Allen at home. And game 2, I like the Blue Jays. I actually think Bassett's looked really good this season, and getting some value on them on the road here. Still seeing numbers come down a little bit, but still seeing +135 or so. So still think there's value on the Blue Jays there.
There from Al Ninos. All right, we'll continue here on Tony S'more Show. As we started the show with baseball by mistake, but we'll continue it since we started. And we go here with Astros and Royals. We got the Astros here, $1.37, total 7.5. Brewers and Cardinals here. We got the Cardinals $1.09, total of 8. Reds and Rockies. Reds down to $1.32. This was $1.50 overnight. This one's come down $1.32, total of 11. White Sox Athletics, the homeless 205 favorites. Total sits here at 9.5. And in this block, we've got Rangers and the Giants here. Here we've got the Giants $1.30, total sitting here at 8. And those are the 5 in this block. Back to Al Ninos.
Yeah, again, without Seager in the lineup, I have to go with the Giants. Lay a little bit of juice at home there. Other than that, it's pretty much just one more play I like in this block is the White Sox early here. I think Martin's been a pretty decent starter. Just think the Athletics are overpriced, so I'll take the White Sox plus the half run in the first 5 innings.
There you go, from Al Ninos. Tell you what I think about these games here in this spot. I'm going to look under with Astros and Royals. We got 2 pretty good starters on the mound with two hit teams that just can't hit at all. Brown has been sharp. Bubic has been sharp. Houston hitting 198 against lefties. Against the 23 right-handers they faced, the Royals just 217. And the Astros bullpen been in really sharp here. You look over the past 6 games, allowing 1 run in 17 2/3 innings. A team home, good bullpen form at home. You look here at KC, 16-9-1 to the under, and Houston 15-8-2 to the under this year. So I'll go under in that one. What else do we got here? I'll look at the St. Louis side here against Milwaukee. Brewers have dropped 10 of the first 14 on the road. Their bullpen has been horrible away from home. Cardinals, a team that hits well at home at 2.93, good bullpen ERA. I'll look at them in this spot. They've been a very good home team, this Cardinals team. Kind of went back and forth with this Reds and this Rockies game. I love me some Rockies home dog, but I'm just going to stay away from the Rockies until we get warmer temperatures out there. It's just not working. The problem with the Rockies is you're 0-8 against left-handed starters this year, losing 8 units. So I'm staying away there in that one. Let's see what else I've got. I'm going to go ahead and take the Giants here. Giants against right-handed starters this year, 15-3. Texas, $1.90 in their 8-day games. San Francisco hit well at home, good bullpen numbers. Texas bullpen against the interleague teams approaching 5 here. In interleague games, the past 2+ seasons on the road, Texas 20-35, losing 15.5 units. I'll look at San Fran in that game. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Hickson Morning Show as we continue on here with the next series of games. All right, we will look here at Pirates and Dodgers. We got the Dodgers $3.23 now. Wow, we're in the $3. Total sits at 8. Braves and D-backs. The Braves waking up here in the road. $1.10, total 8.5. Marlins and Mariners. We mentioned to you about the change of starter there for Seattle. Seattle now down to $1.38, total 7.5. Rays and Padres. Look at the Rays. Padres dealing with some injuries though in their lineup. Padres $1.15, total 8.5. Sunday night baseball, good one. Phillies Cubs. Cubs $1.15, total sits here at 8. Just want to remind you guys again with that pitching change in Seattle with their injuries, 2 starters down here. Looks like several weeks for Seattle. So Logan Evans, a rookie, gets the start. Makes MLB debut, a 2013 draft pick who has some pretty good numbers in the minors. He'll start for Seattle. Two arms down in Seattle now. That's their strength is starting rotation, so they're going to have some issues there. We'll go over to El Ninos.
Yeah, I was on the Marlins before that pitching change, and yeah, you're right. He has decent numbers, but nothing that's gonna scare me off my play. So I'm sticking on the Marlins. Here, Mario's also put up good numbers himself against some big league hitters. So I'll keep riding him on the Marlins in this one. Dodgers obviously overpriced as much as I'd like to back them. And I might take the over in that game actually with the Dodgers. I like the Braves here on the short price with Schwarzenbach. He's been looking pretty good. I think they get the job done. And did we go all the way down with this slot?
Yeah, we did the rest of the games. Yeah.
I think that's pretty much what I got for this slot anyway. So yeah, sticking to those for now.
And those are from El Nino. So I tell you what I think here about these games. Yeah, I like the Marlins as well. Pitching change. I wish, again, I would have gotten a better price there with the Marlins, though. That's the difference there. Mariners, we know, although yesterday they exploded on exploded there, but it hasn't been consistent with this Marlins team this Mariners team hitting the ball at home. But I look at Marlins there. Going to go over, the Dodgers are lined at 8 to 8.5. They tend to go over at home, 61 and 44 now. The over that went over yesterday, 2+ season. Falter on the mound. I just don't like Falter having to pitch this Dodger lineup, and then you're going to get the bad Pirates bullpenners that come in if Falter has a bad outing. Glass now on the mound. I think they could even score a few on them. We've seen Pittsburgh's bats light up here over the past 5 games, 302. Dodgers are only 21 homers in the 13 home games. And the bullpen has not performed well at home for this LA team early on. I'll look at them in this spot. This might be a bounce back here for this Padres team. I know they're dealing with a little bit of injuries, but Latel's had some struggles on the mound this year. Vasquez, shaky numbers, but good ERA. That's always scary, right? No strikeouts, high walks, no ground balls, no homers allowed. This dude is walking a tightrope, man, and getting out of it with that ERA. So I also look at the Padres there. Boy, Schwallen back in 5. That's to me an under there. I know it's been over, but one thing to note here, the roof will be closed today in Arizona. So I look for the ball not to carry as much in that air-conditioned air there. So I like under in that spot. I got to go with the Cubs at this price. I mean, Nola's been pounded this year. ERA over 6.5, whip of 1.61. He's given up almost 2 home runs per 9 innings. I prefer the Cubs bullpen over this Phillies bullpen, especially the Phillies has been not very performing well here this year. So I'll look at the Cubs in that one. All right, let's continue here on the Tony's Morning Show as we'll go to the NBA. We kind of started it off with baseball because I was hot and baseball had baseball in the mind. Maybe that's what happened. But anyway, we'll get to it here. Someone asked me a question about Shedeur Sanders. I kind of like someone I was reading on Twitter here. Someone had a good take. I don't think on film Shedeur Sanders was a starting quarterback, and I don't think teams wanted to use him in a backup role. Because there may have been a lot of tension there, too much attention coming from the father and that, because Shedeur Sanders and Deion kind of saw him as a starting quarterback. But if the teams didn't see him on tape, and I keep pointing to this game, that Oregon game, that was the toughest competition in his 2 years in Division I football was when he went into Oregon. And if you look at his numbers in Oregon, he had a 36 QBR, 4.8 yards per pass attempt. These guys are sharp. These NFL scouts, NFL general managers. Yeah, don't give me the game when they're playing, a D2 team. Don't give me the tape when they're playing bad teams. I only want to see the tape when he goes up against the top tier team. So you might have 2 or 3 games to choose from. And that Oregon game was not a good one. So based on that Oregon tape, he's not a first round pick. And we don't want to draft him if he's going to be a backup, because that's going to create a lot of drama that we don't want. That's all. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. If he would be more open to being a backup quarterback, he would have been easily in the second round, I think, maybe second in round, or maybe early third round. But they didn't want to deal with the drama. That's really what it comes down to. I want to be a starter. Well, are you going to sulk if you're a backup? That's really what they're afraid of. They don't like those guys that sulk a lot and just to walk around with their head down, looking, not focusing. We've seen that many times with some of these guys when they have to be in a reserve role, and he's never been in a reserve role. He's been a starter his entire career. Well,
yeah, I mean it's a different role, obviously, but obviously it's also a different league. He's not running around throwing the ball and running over little boys playing defense now. He's gonna get himself in trouble if he keeps holding on to the ball the way he has, and that's another risk some teams don't want to take either. You don't want to waste a draft pick on a guy that's just going to go out there and get beat up in his first game out. So it's tough. I was rooting for him when he started out. But yeah, there are some adjustments to make before going to the NFL, and looks like he has some to make still.
Yeah, something to make there. And of course,
wish him all the best, though. Wish him all the best.
Yeah, wish him all the best, and to see how he handles that role as a backup. Well, maybe if he can work his way into, you never know what happens in this summer there. We'll see how it rolls there.
Quarterbacks get hurt all the time, so
Yeah, you never know. Some of these guys we've seen many times when these third, fourth, fifth rounders get thrown into a starting role because of injuries. That'll happen, but he'll have a year to learn under his belt. Just hopefully he can handle it. Because listen, the NFL, there's a lot of up and down in the NFL. So no better start than to start with a down going in the league. Because trust me, everybody goes through ups and downs. You got 4 quarterbacks in Cleveland. He's got to jump 3 hurdles. Yeah, but no better way to start your career on a downer. Because trust me, in the NFL, nobody has it all good all the time. Even Brady had a lot of down periods in his career. And that's probably get that out of the way early in your career. Probably handle a little bit of that early on. Probably would help them. All right, let's get to the NBA playoffs here. We got Knicks and Pistons here, 2-1 series. The Pistons favored 2, total 217. Lakers and Timberwolves. Lakers down 2-1. This one's come down. We saw 3.5 open. It's come down. Timberwolves 2.5, total 8.5. Celtics and Magic. The Magic will be dogs again. Celtics 7, total 197.5. Pacers and Bucks. Tale of 2 halves there. We've got here the Bucks 4.5, total 226.5. Let's take a look at the injury reports here for these 4 games tonight, today in the NBA playoffs. We'll take a look here, and the Knicks and the Pistons. We've got Mitchell Robinson questionable on the Detroit side. Ivy out. Stewart is questionable. Lakers and Minnesota, usual guys. Kleber and Dillingham. Kleber for the Lakers, Dillingham for Minnesota out. Boston and Orlando. Holiday out for Boston. Brown questionable there. Orlando, a clean injury report. Indiana and Milwaukee. Here's a shooter hurt. Mathurin questionable here for Indiana. Smith questionable for Milwaukee. So Mathurin is the guy. He missed all of last season. Remember that toward the end of the year. He was a big piece they had, and he was missing there in the second half of the year. Mathurin questionable. That's a key one there if he can't play. We move on over to Al Nidos.
Yeah, I looked at this Magic game early yesterday, and Brown was not on that injury report. So I don't know. Despite that they still think he ends up on the court, and whether he plays or not, I still think back the Celtics early in this one that they didn't come out to a good start. Good start in the last game, but this is a team that bounces back well. If he doesn't play, I would not be rushing to lay anything more than 6 points. Now, of course, I expect to get a better number if he's out, but we're still getting just 2 points, having to lay 2 points in the first quarter here, and that's where I'm at with the Celtics. So whether Brown plays or not, the other games can be a little tougher. I mean, Knicks Pistons is a really tough one for me. I guess I'm leaning towards the Timberwolves against the Lakers at home here. Lakers are going to be in trouble now if they drop this one, but I think that's where they end up. They're going to have to go home and do some heavy lifting back there, and maybe come back with some more momentum and try to steal the next game in Minnesota. But as of right now, I like laying the small number with the Timberwolves, and I'll lay the points with the Bucks as well. Again, maybe look at them first quarter -1, but 4.5 full game isn't terrible either. So I like the Bucks in that one.
Yeah, from Al Nito, say what I think about these games. Y'all look at Detroit in this spot here. Detroit has defended well at home. The Knicks, I'm just not a big fan of their defense on the road this year. It's not been very good. Matter of fact, since the break, they have actually a -4.5 net rating on the road since the break. And in the Knicks here on the road, it's a lot, 48% shooting, 38% from 3. And they're giving up 39% from 3-point distance in this series. I look at the Pistons here in this spot. Yeah, I'm with you there, El Ninos. Minnesota's had a very good home court since the break. You look here at the Lakers, not defending very well since the All-Star break on the road, giving up 117 points per 100 possessions. And you look at this Timberwolves team, they are number 1 in offensive efficiency at home since the All-Star break. 125 points per 100 possessions. They have a +13 net rating at home since the break. I can't go against that, man. I got to take Minnesota again there in this game number. Hey, look, Lakers just have to win 1 of 3. If they hold home court the rest of the way, the Lakers just have to win 1 of 3 in Minnesota. It may come down to game 6 there for the Lakers if they are to move on in this series. And we'll see how the Lakers respond facing elimination if that's the case. So they may face elimination twice in game 5, game 6, and 7. But these are Minnesota Timberwolves. They're capable of blowing a 3-1 lead. Just remember that. That's the script usually for Minnesota. Big choke there.
Series of disappointments.
That's what they call them. Yeah, house of disappointment. Yeah, Game 6 will be the house of disappointment again. They have to have a seance right there before the game or something. Orlando here. Yeah, I got to take the 7 with Orlando. Celtics really not shooting the ball well in this series, 45%. But that's the magic, right? They defend very well. That's what they got going for them. That's, listen, I have more faith in the supporting cast. I think they have the worst supporting cast of any playoff team left in the series, to be honest with you. But I do have some faith that they can actually make Anthony Black and company do something to help Franz Wagner and Paulo get going. But the defense has been there, though, for Orlando. I like the points there. Boy, this Indiana Pacer game, I'm going to stay off it now. With that Mathurin injury, I'm not a big fan of taking the Pacers. I like them when they got all their shooters, but with Mathurin with that bang up there, I'm going to stay away from that one. All right, disappointment coming. Yeah, I think so. Like I said, I know it's up. Here's the problem with the Lakers today. They got a short turnaround. They played that night game. Now they got to play an early game. Right? They got that early game today. I thought they would slot the Lakers, but it's Sunday. They don't like the big games in prime time on a Sunday. They like them on a Saturday. So that's why they moved the Lakers to 3:30 Eastern. But remember, they played that night game there on Thursday, right? Because there's only one day off between games here. Or actually on Friday, right? They played on Friday the night game. So it's a quick turnaround, and I don't know about this LeBron and a quick turnaround. That scares me a little bit there. But of course, the money's coming down to LA. There's no doubt about that. They think this is the bounce back spot for them. And I like it. Yep, Whisker doesn't like the idea of Lakers going down. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. It's Minnesota. All right, that's right. Our Scripto has a script. A Scipio. I thought it was Scriptio, but the Scripto. There. All right, let's continue here on the Tony's Morning Show as we continue on with hockey now. We move on to the hockey. These games are getting pretty good now. We're getting deeper in the first round. Jets and Blues. We got the Jets $1.38, total 5.5. Hurricanes and Devils. Hurricanes $1.74, total 5.5. Capitals and Canadians $1.13, total 6. Kings at Oilers in a series with no defense. We got the Oilers $1.39, total 6.5. We're seeing some 6.5. We may see 7, man. I think in this series. There are some 6 with heavy juice right now, but those will probably move this. I already see a 6.5 with minus 19 juice. Look at this. This thing's going to hit 7. The way it looks like it's going there. My goodness. But 6.5, 6s are still in the marketplace. Oilers favored $1.39 over to Al Ninos.
Yeah, if you can still find the 6 on that Oilers game, I'd take that. I mean, the Oilers haven't been playing much defense at all. They know they're going to have to score some goals if they want to win this game, and they need to win this game at home. So expect them to play a fast-paced game. They're trying to get their offense going. Blues Jets. We saw a high scoring one game 1, lower scoring in game 2. The Blues really went off in game 3. I think we see the Jets tighten it up a little bit in this one, and I'll take a shot on the under in that Jets Blues game. Hurricanes. I like them -1. They dropped the last one, but Devils, put in a great effort, but just think they're outclassed here against the Hurricanes, so I'll take Carolina -1. And Capitals, I don't know. That's a good one. I think Montreal gets the job done at home again, so I'll take them on the money line.
There you go with Al Ninos. All right, we got you through the Parlay peripheral segment. I'm sorry, we got you through the NHL segment. Now it's time for our Parlay peripheral segment, where cappers can give out a parlay. They give team or player prop, game of the future. They make the call here. We started off here with Al Ninos.
All right, let's go Celtics -2 in the first quarter. We'll go with the Tigers -1. Yeah, and the Hurricanes -1.
There from Al Ninos. Tell you what here I think about these here. I'll be looking here at the Pistons here that lay in the 2, and also in Major League Baseball. I will go with here. What do we got here in baseball? I'll take the Guardians here, as well as the under in Astros and Royals. So we got you there with my the team parlay. All right, now it's time to see where cappers have for sale over at Tony'sPicks.com. Head into a pretty good weekend here of action here on a Sunday. And into Monday, we'll have NBA playoffs as well, baseball as we always do here. We'll see what El Ninos has for sale over at Tony'sPicks.com. El Ninos has put together pretty good NFL, NBA showing profit. Anytime you show profit in the NBA, one of the hardest sports to handicap, you got to tip your cap off in there. El Ninos has put together pretty good numbers in the NBA this year. Al, let everybody know what you got for sale over at Tony's Picks for today.
Yeah, I was doing pretty good heading into the postseason in the NBA. Unfortunately, had a rough start to it, back in some dogs that got completely blown out. Kind of things have settled down a little bit, coming off a winner in the NBA yesterday. And still don't have my NBA play up yet, but I should have at least one of those. I do have my best bet in the MLB, NHL, and an extra play in the NHL so far. So looking to get there with a couple more extra plays, though, as the day goes on.
That's right, guys. Yeah, we're down us over at Tony's Picks. You can see Al's got a lot of plays up for you right now up there from MLB as well as the NHL. So remember, all of our one-day passes are profit guaranteed. They must earn a profit amount purchased will be incurred back to your account. That's profit guaranteed. So get on board with Al over at Tony'sPicks.com. You can also see Al has long-term subscriptions available for you as well, even in baseball package. So get on board and use that promo code TonyT at checkout, and you will save that 15% off. Also, I've got a baseball best bet up on the board as well. I also have a 3-pack with 2 from baseball, 1 from NBA. I am the top unit producer in baseball this year over at Tony's Picks Document. So get on board with me over at Tony'sPicks.com. You may even select the 2-for-1 capper promotion. Match me up with Al here on the 2-for-1 capper promotion. Save even greater money. All right, guys. So with you here Monday through Friday here at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time with the Tony's Picks Morning Show. So if you guys make sure you like, subscribe, give us that like, that thumbs up, help us build up our audience. We greatly appreciate that. And of course, if you happen to miss any of our shows, we do archive it over on our YouTube channel. So if you check out our YouTube channel, you can see that we have a lot of great content up there. Just hit the live tab, watch a replay of our show. We also have replays of our happy hour. This Monday through Friday. Rod hosts it at 5 Eastern time. You hit the video tab, and there you'll see a lot more content. You can see David Racy coming in with a 2-team baseball parlay. Kevin Thomas with an NBA. El Ninos looking for those underdogs. Of course, our man Chris with those home run props in baseball up there. I got you covered here with baseball as well as NBA. So check out our YouTube channel for on-demand content and even archive replays of our live content over at the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Of course, El Ninos, you're always looking for those underdogs.
Yeah, as it showed there, it's all MLB today. So if you're a fan of that, go ahead and check it out. I believe they're all first 5 picks too. So if you like those even better, make sure you check that out. Yeah, no full games. Although I do like them all in the full game as well. Just preferred them in the first 5 innings.
Very good. There you go. That'll do it here for the Tony's Picks Morning Show. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us as well, joining here on the show today. We'll be back tomorrow live at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. So make sure you like, subscribe, and set those notifications. Shout out to everybody in the chat there. Of course, our man Ron Hahn, who runs the chat's also part of the Tony's Picks Morning Show, the team over at Tony'sPicks.com. You can look for him over there. I made a little banner for him. You can see he's had a really good year in the NBA with Ron. So check out what he's got for sale over at Tony'sPicks.com. Run our chat for us there. Link in the description to get signed up. All right. That's going to do it. Now, anything you have to say before we close it out?
No, thanks for watching, and a happy Sunday. Enjoy your games, guys.
Happy Sunday to everybody. Make it a winning one. Wake up, guys. Make it a winning one. We're back tomorrow here on the Tony's Picks Morning Show.